Welcome to another video in the Skillful Living program. Today I want to talk to you about the spiritual concept of detachment or non-attachment. This is very different from the way we use the word detached or detachment in normal conversation. So in normal English, someone who's detached might be quite objective in a situation, which is good. Or that person may be aloof in a relationship, which is not so good because that creates a distance. This is not what detachment means in spiritual terms. We are now talking about the lack of attachment. This is not to be confused with a lack of love or caring. It just means that we care without being attached to certain things. And let me just explain this. In normal life, most of us are attached to a lot of things. First of all, most of us are attached to our own ego self, the I, me, my, mine, all of this, the attachment to this. We are attached, therefore, also to our image, to our reputation, to how we appear to others, the image that we project to others. So we can get attached to all of these things. We can also be attached to possessions or to ideas that we won't even consider a counter idea to our own because we are so attached to our own ideas. So we stop having an open mind on whatever the issue might be because we are so attached to our own ideas about it. So there are a lot of attachments. There are also attachments in relationships. So once again, attachment not to be confused with love. It's a very good thing to love members of your family or your friends. But there is a difference between, okay, let's take a good difference. I mean, sorry, not a good difference, but a big difference. So you can really love someone with conditions, with attachments to those conditions, or you can love them unconditionally without any conditions. So in romantic relationships, for example, we often have a lot of conditions. I will love you if you are like this, if you change in that way, or if you continue to do this or that, or be this or that. And sometimes the other person changes, sometimes they don't really change, but we start to see things in them that we overlooked before. These all come from attachments. Very often in a romantic relationship, we are actually attached to our own idea of our ideal, our perfect mate. And when the other person doesn't measure up to my idea of what I want in them, what I want to see in them, then I start to get disappointed in them. So all of this comes from attachment rather than unconditional love. Doesn't mean that there's no love, but the love is conditional on certain things. So today, though, I want to talk about one aspect, one kind of attachment and one kind of detachment, which is very relevant to some of the things we have been discussing in previous videos, in particular to the idea of karma yoga, the path of action. And I think I may have mentioned a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which comes early in the Gita in chapter 2. In Sanskrit, it goes like this: Karmanye vadhika raste ma phaleshu kadachan. Some of you might have heard this phrase before. What it means is you have the right to action, but not to the fruits of your action. In other words, don't take action because of the rewards that you believe will come from that action. Take action that you believe to be right. And I think we did cover this when we talked about karma yoga, but it's important, it's so important that I want to go into it a little bit more now. So you have the right to action. Take whatever action you want, but don't take it because of the rewards that you expect from it. So in other words, take action because you believe it to be right action. What does this mean in terms of detachment? Does it mean that we have no expectation at all? So I will take an action, but I have no expectation of what it might lead to. No, it doesn't mean that. If you have no expectation, I think you will have no sense of purpose, and I don't think your life will have any meaning. So if we take meaningful action, we do have some expectation of what will result from it. So if I teach Reiki, I do expect that there will be more Reiki healers in this world. I expect that the world will be a better place because there will be more healers in it. Or if I teach meditation, I expect that people will learn methods, will learn meditation, in other words, a method that will help to bring them calmness. So there will be more calmness and peace in people in this world. So there is an expectation. The detachment means that you don't get attached to that expectation. So let's say I'm teaching a class of 10 people. I'm teaching them to meditate, and 4 of them learn really well and never need to come back to me for any instruction or any guidance, and are able to lead really peaceful, calm lives. That's fantastic. But maybe 3 of them continue to come back to me because they need the guidance, or they prefer to do it that way. That's okay too. No problems. How many are left now? Sorry, 4, 3. 3 are left, right? Let's say these 3 say, it's useless. I don't like it. I don't want to meditate. Or you're useless. You're a bad teacher. You don't know how to teach. I didn't get anything out of this class. Can I accept that or not? Can I take that in my stride? Can I tell myself, well, maybe I could improve myself in some way. Maybe I can ask them how I could help them more. Or can I say, maybe they're not yet ready for meditation. Maybe they'll come to it in their own time, or maybe they'll find a teacher that's better suited for them. You can only say that if you're not too attached to your expectation of the result. If you really, really want all 10 to love the way you teach and to find great calmness and peace and to learn perfectly, then it will be very difficult for you to accept a different result. So this is what I mean by detachment. I think I'll leave it there for this week. Thank you for listening. See you next week.